one extreme to the other. Red hot yesterday, cold, dark, dull today. What are you all doing? I'm blaming you guys. It's all your fault. I never see light. I'm always in the shop packing. So whatever's going on, you guys are getting the blame for it today. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Tony Darrick, and today we are on our wonderful Create Together Club. Awesome kit, which we do a week's worth of content on. This is show 3, and we be creative and try and utilise our items in as many different ways as possible. So if you're not a subscriber, you need to subscribe. If you like the video, you need to give me the thumbs up. And we do giveaways also. So if you want to get involved, all you need to do is pop a comment underneath this video when I've gone off air, or pop a comment on here and have a chat amongst yourselves. Also, let me just sort my windy hair out from the dog. I will do a shout out, but let's show you the wonderful kit. I'm going to dive straight in today because we're doing some Inky techniques. So these are the 2 cards that we've done already. This was show 1 with the 3D tail on the fish. Then the second one was partial die cutting, half of the design and half not. If you do have the kit and miss the shows, you can always go back and catch up on those. And Tim's put this cool feature on the screen for you all now. Instead of you all disappearing to go hunting for product if you are looking, or if you are watching on catch up now, this is going to facilitate you having that lovely shopping experience quickly and efficiently. So scan the QR code and it'll show you all of the items that are in the show. But alternatively, you can read what it says underneath as well. If you don't have a camera, show-collection.com. and enter that code and it will all be there for you. So you now have options. You don't have to disappear off and come back and ask for links, and we're trying to make it easy for you. So if you want to scan it and play around on your phone now and have fun, totally. But if you want to stay with me right now, I'm saying it's this side, but on your TV it's this side. Could be anywhere though. In my world, it's anywhere. It's up here somewhere. So yeah, so give it a try, give it a blast. Let me know your thoughts. We are here to improve and make the experience easy, efficient, better for you, because I know that some of you are old and some of you have no clue about technology. Some of you don't even know how to use your camera on your phones. Some of you are useless. I'm only joking, but it's there to help you if you are not tech savvy. In a polite way, not tech savvy. So let's have a look at the products in the show very quickly. So we have our wonderful paper collection, which we've gone through several times. I'll show you this one as well. So this is, you can buy this at any point, okay? It's still available. We have the paper pad, then we have the beautiful tropical fish, the flowers, the bubbles, and the words and the die set on here. And then you get this A6 die set as well, which is the frame and that lovely aperture and the word love in there as well. So you get it all. I think it's about £30. Super, super cheap because this is £30 on its own. $29.99 stamp and die set, okay? So it's a real cool deal, but equally Create Together Club does push your boundaries a little bit because it encourages you to buy products that you wouldn't normally buy, which you have so much fun with. And let me just show you some samples here. Look at this one. Really, really pretty. And you have that die as well, which is nice. And this is the waste out of the centre of that die there, like at the background there. So we have tons of samples, and I'll show you some different ones every day. So let's do a little bit of a shout out. So we have Jan, I know the weather's pants, I know. Carol, Marilyn, Angie, Melanie, Marilyn, Judith. We have Marilyn Squire. We have, there's a few of you on. Judith Corrie. Make the most of it, Marilyn, but it's meant to be staying all week. That is rubbish. Shall we get into some crafting then? That'll cheer us all up, won't it? So we said we were going to do some inky techniques, and we are. Have some fun with some ink. Now, you can use any inks. Ink pads, watercolour tubes, watercolour pans. I've got my confetti here. So some of you bought the confetti last week, so let's have a play around with that. Some of you have got the earlier confettis. They will work too. So you don't have to buy product to enjoy the show. You can utilise what you've got in your stash at home, but equally, if you like the product and you want it, you know where to go now because I've shown you the easiest way. So, what we're doing. Eureka. I have a plan. I have a plan. Best laid plans and all. Right, okay. Stop being silly. So, I'm using some watercolour card. This is attached to the show. And I feel like if you're watercolouring, watercolour card is better, but it's not necessary. It all depends on what sort of results you're looking for. I like this one personally. You can use normal card if you are experimenting too. So I've just cut a strip here. And what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this incredible fish, because I just love, love, love this fish. So the fish from here, move this down a little bit. So we're going to do some heat embossing. I'm going to do him here first. And I'm going to emboss it in white, okay? So we're doing a little bit of a resist technique today. So anti-static bag. Oh, that moved. That's okay. So anti-static bag. Get rid of any moisture in your card. And I'm doing it on the smooth side of my watercolour card. Leslie, is all watercolour card off-white? Predominantly, yes. It is. It's like a creamy texture. It's because it's cotton, not chalk. Chalk's white. If you think about chalk, you'd think it's white, but cotton's never quite white, is it? Like a creamy cotton, the traditional. So the paper is made from cotton, so that's why it's got that cream undertone. I asked the question once, and that's the answer I got. So sticky ink pad, okay. So let's heat emboss this in white. Now, whilst I'm heat embossing this, some of you may have seen notifications to say your orders have either been collected, dispatched. We're nearly done. We're nearly done. I think we have about, I think Becky's got 250 left. So we're nearly done. 250 from about 2,000. So thank you for your patience, everyone. But yeah, I think Becky will get done by the end of tomorrow. I haven't been able to help her so much today because I take my eye off the ball over the Friday, the Saturday and the Sunday. I had tons of emails, and as you know, I'm on HSN next week and I'm on a flight on Saturday, so I've got a lot of catching up to do. But I do try and support Becky because it is so overwhelming when you're scrolling through the orders and it's just like, so, you know, it is what it is. So that's that down there, and then let's move this, let's just anti-static up the top as well. And then let's use the fish again. Let's do the fish a different way this time. Let's do it as if it's coming in from the page. Do it this way this time. I'll do it twice, make sure we get all of that detail. And then we'll get our white embossing powder. Just grab some front cover of something here to catch the embossing powder. Make sure you use white. Yeah, not white and not clear. Sometimes you've seen before, haven't I? I've used clear by mistake. And we'll heat set this one. You can see it's tilt it forward. You can just see there the detail. And then let's heat set this one. So get your gun hot when you're heat embossing, and then it doesn't stop the wave in your card, but you get less lumps and bumps if you give your gun the chance to heat up. Love confetti inks, me too. Me too. So get your gun hot. just get this. Just tilt it in so you can see what I'm doing there. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Judith. Not going to see much at the moment, but my gun doesn't sound too healthy. It's getting like, it's going high then low. So it is there, it's just that you can't see it. So you just need to give it a second to cool down. Then we'll have some fun with some colour. So it's still a little bit tacky sometimes afterward. So then just grab a brush here. Then we're going to add some colour. Now I'm going to be quite colour focused here. So I'm going to do a few colours, dry it, wet it again, do a few colours, dry it, wet it again. I think that's where I want to go with this, because I feel like, although the tropical fish, they would look beautiful on a random, vibrant background. And what will happen is the white emboss will push through to the front when we clean it down, and they'll sit proud on top of a nice coloured background. But what will also happen as well is you can then paint the gold on the fish to bring the fish to the foreground too. So we're going to have a bit of a play around here. So am I okay? Let's get some colours here. So most of you have got these bluebell. Just play around with the colours that you have. The comments did stop. That's probably my, I don't know. If anybody's not talking to me, or they've all gone. So I've got 3 colours here. Okay? Okay. It's just that nobody's talking to me, Tim. I don't know if it's because it's... Tim's like, talk to me, guys. Are you there? Right. So, spray bottle. Where are you? Here we go. We are listening into... See what happens when you don't talk to me. I have a bit of a meltdown. Like nobody's talking to me. Is everybody gone? Ooh, I need my friends. So just a spray bottle with just some water in here. And then I'm just going to spray into my confetti just to get it activated. We're all here. Oh, bless you. Too kind. Panic over, Tony. So activate these sort of colours here. These are just 3 I've got. I think satin, chocolate and bluebell, something like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring my design in here. What is that? Where did that come from? I had a mess now. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to spray the card. And a cool tip really is spray your mat, pop it down, and get the watercolour card to stick to your mat if you... because it dries off. And then I'm going to spray my design too. And let's see where it goes. What's the worst that could happen? Listening and organising my stash, says Angie. We are listening, you're still here. Okay. So shall we go, let's go the dark colour first. So let's bring this in. So, ooh, look at that. So that when you pop it in, because the water's already wet, let's just do focus first. I want it to be like a real nice tropical water. Rather than tropical fish, a tropical water. So... and as you go over the design will come to the foreground, okay? So let's do a little bit of colour here. A little bit here. You will see the fish soon, I promise. So let's pop some red on. Now you can dry between the layers. I'm probably just going to get a layer of colour down first. Then we'll dry it and we'll intensify it as we go. try not to mix the colours. Try and keep them like separate entities. Although you're putting them down at the same time, try and keep them. Let's get some blue, clean my brush. See fish coming to life quite slowly. Promise you they are there. I would do a little bit of pink on this corner. I'm just going to push this around with my heat tool a little bit, and then we'll go in and intensify it even more. The more you intensify, the more prominent those fish are going to become, okay? So if you've got a big puddle, just get a tissue and just mop up some of the ink. So you can see when I push, you can see there's a lot of water in there, so I might need to get a little bit of tissue and push it back, but let's just see where it goes first. You see how the colours are sort of like captured in areas. I don't want it to all just blend and make a hot mess. So we've got Janice, good morning from West Virginia, everyone. Good morning, sweetheart. Hey guys, you're gonna laugh. Just push, let me just do this first. Two jobs at once, Tony. So if you've got any puddles, just sort of like push them around a little bit. I'll just get my cleaning cloth out my cupboard. There we go. So I haven't fully dried it back because I want it still to be wet because I want to intensify it now. So same colours, okay, just get your brush. So let's go back on with this purple. So can we see now? Let's just get some on your paintbrush, Tony. So now, in the places where it's purple, I'm going to drop more colour in, just make it a little bit more intense. Can you see now how dark it is there? So where else do we need to go? Here. And don't worry about the embossing, because when we've completed our design, we just dust it off with some tissue or a cloth and the white just comes to life. And then what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to add some gold to my fish, bring them back to life. So there's a bit of gold, a bit of purple in there. So let's go over our red as well. Don't be afraid to get that colour on. There's nothing you can hurt or worry about. Just get the colour on. Oops, a daisy, wrong colour. Don't stick your brush in the wrong colour though. Just try and keep it really like in segments if you can. Sarah says it's very hot and sunny in future Ventura. Oh my goodness me. Can't be bad. The other thing that you can do as well, guys, which is quite cool, is you can also do the bleaching effect where once it's dry, if you add water to the fish and pull it out with some tissue, you end up with like a bleach effect, which is quite a cool effect. That's not the effect that I'm doing today though, but it is an effect if you are playing around with your colours, it is a cool effect as well. So, you know, play around. What it's all about, isn't it? If you're having fun, we like to have fun, don't we? I think that's about it. Put a bit of blue in there. Ooh, it's coming together, isn't it? Colours you probably wouldn't normally put together, but because we're keeping them quite contained, it actually works. So let's just get our gun and push it off again. So just drying that back colour a little bit. So let's just see if I've got some tissue. No, not today. Computer says no. Let's just pick this up. Get rid of my puddle. So with your embossing, can you see here? As soon as you start to brush it off, it comes off the white. Okay, make sure it's totally dry though. I've just took half my colour out there. My gun's like going really high in volume, then really low. I'm like, are you at the end of your life or what? Did you hear that? It's up, down, it's like my hairdryer. Get rid of that puddle there. A little bit longer. So hopefully you can see how shimmery that is. It's really nice. Marilyn says, we are all fascinated watching you. Poor you. So what I'm going to do is make sure it's quite, yeah, it's dry. So then all you do then is either get a tissue or a cloth and watch what happens when you burnish the white. See how the fish comes to life? Any colour or anything sat on top, we can push it right back into its little crevices. That beautiful fish comes back to life. Look at that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to colour some of the tail in a goldy colour. So now where are my detailed brushes? Oh, I'll use this one. So I'm using a size 6 from the watercolour brushes, if you're wondering. Clean it first, Tony. Can't wait to try this technique. Yeah, so now, look at that. So now we can go into the tail on top of our colour and we'll do exactly what we did with the white. We'll push it back. Can we see that there? Let's add some detail to our tail. Now, the thicker you put it on, the less you're going to see underneath. I quite like the colour underneath, but total preference. Maybe do a couple of layers if you want to totally push the colour back. I think having the colour show through from the base, it looks like the tail is semi-transparent, so you can see the colour of the water underneath. So, you know, that's how I like it, but it is total preference, obviously. And if you have got some sparkly paints or your confetti, when you hold these up to the light, well, you all know how beautiful they are. Not being too careful, because it honestly, if you do or you don't have a great steady hand, it looks cool on this. The tail is so sporadic in design that really you can't even differentiate between where it's a tail and where it's not, so just go for it. I've ended up doing the whole fish, haven't I, because it's so gorgeous, so let's do the fish's body too. And then I'll push it all back. And bring that white back to the front. I have to say, I've been so surprised by this fish. Honestly, I knew it is a beautiful design, but it's just a design I would never normally pick up. Never, never, never. A fish. I mean, what do you do with a fish unless somebody's a fisherman? What do I do with a fish? So you can see where I'm going here, can't you? But with the lovely sentiments that are in there, it's totally detached it from the general, oh, I don't know anybody who's into fish, to just the sense of tranquility, take a moment, take a breath. I think it's just beautiful. I think it's just so tranquil, so beautiful in design. So now we can see our lovely fishes are there in gold. So let's dry that off, then we'll burnish it back with our cloth and we'll add some detail. Ooh. See what I mean? That's why it's not working now. I knew something was wrong with it. Well, just 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, and just see if there's a gun over here. I've only got one over this side for Sarah. Maybe not this time. Yeah, I knew my gun was playing up. I'll just have to let it dry. Whilst it's drying though, we'll just move on to the rest. It might just need time to cool down. We'll give it a second. Whilst it's doing that, I'm going to add some splats. So the way that I like to do splats is, let's just activate this again. So take your brush and add it so it's like a puddle. Can we see? Like a nice puddle. And then if you want like big drops on your design, do it really high up, because what happens with your drips, guys, at home, just a very quick explanation, because I think it's really important that if you know this stuff, this is how you'll move forward with your craft. The higher you hold your brush, because it's falling, the plop or the droplet gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you end up with a bigger spot. Okay, so if you hold your hand really, really high, say for here, the spots would be really big on your design because they've got longer to fall. But if you want like cute little speckles, do it really close because it's got less distance to travel and less time to get big. Does that make sense? I hope so. So I normally do mine just over my finger. I like the smaller drops, but if you like the bigger drops, just tighten your brush to a higher level, okay? So I'm just going to go here, and I end up with like real nice, precise, little delicate bodges. And I'm not bothered if it sits on my fish, because I'll just brush it off the white when it's dry. So can we see those there? Precise. If the higher you go, the bigger the spots. If you want to just brush off the spots actually on there, I don't think it really matters, to be honest. Till my gun stops playing silly beggars, I'm just going to brush those spots in on the fish and let the background ones just dry naturally. And then we'll move on to the next stage of our card. So it's looking quite good. We haven't brushed it back yet either. Look how cool that looks. That just looks like a tropical beach, like where the waves are just come in. It's really flat and tranquil, and the colour is just, oh, it's just gorgeous. Right, let's just get our cloth here. The fish looks glorious, doesn't it just? These are the sort of fish you just sit and watch all day, like on a deck chair or on like a cafe side, aren't they? Really lovely. So let's just move these for now. We'll come back to that. Now what's next? So what I'm going to do is let's make sure our thing's dry. So here I have like a slimline card. It was a 5x7, and I took some off the back and some off the front. So I've got this sort of like recess. It's not the same size. And I've taken this sort of like goldy coffee colour here, and I'm going to mount it right on the edge here, like so. When I do splatters, they end up going everywhere. Well, you saw they were all over on my mat. They're actually out here off my mat too, so don't be too worried about it. As long as you've not got your best shirt on or suit, like sometimes me when I'm doing splats, I've got a suit on for telly. So there we go, we've got this nice sort of like panel design here with a recess down here because I like the recess element of it. So I've also gone ahead and cut the word love. Look at this, love in the black and in the gold. Now let's just bring our artwork in while it's drying. So there's options here. I like to do like a drop shadow. So we could either do love at the back and the gold at the front, or vice versa. So let's have a look. So you pop it off to the left or to the right, and then I think we'll go gold. It's lighter. Or do we just do the black? No, I'm going to go gold at the back because this is not the same as this gold here, and I feel like it might clash a little bit. So let's do black at the front. Let's move that over. And then just you see, I just offset that gold to the left a little bit and you get this sort of like design here. Quite cool, isn't it? Right, is this gun working? No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my sponge. You're going to have to use your tool at home. I'm just going to push it down just to dry it off a little bit, otherwise I'm never going to get this on my card. And I can't really burnish it either, guys, because I'm going to smudge all of those splats. So to bring that white back, once it's completely dry, it's coming back anyway, you can see the detail of it now that it's drying. Give it a nice burnish with a nice clean tissue, and that lovely fish, the white detail will come straight back to life. But look how cool that looks. That is really, really good. I'm just going to try and just going to get that gold off that white spot on his head. You see how we've got his nice white spot on his head? I don't burnish it too much because, I'll do the fish. I'll burnish the fish. Look at me. Don't ruin your project. Don't burnish it till it's completely dry. Look at me. Not completely dry, Tony, but hey-ho. Hey, look at him now. Woohoo! Let's just burnish him back. I'm actually pulling the colour off because it's not properly dry, but it will burnish. Yours will. Look how cute that is now. Come on. So what I'm going to do here now is, because I've got that black sentiment, I'm just going to use a black ink pad. I'm just going to edge the card, just to stop it from floating a little bit. Just get your ink pad and tilt it in slightly. So you pop it on the side and you tilt it in and you just drag down the side, and it just sort of frames it a little bit. Hopefully you can see that there. Just gives it that little detail. So far. Right, so let's try and get this soggy fish, because I've got no gun, onto our card. You have all the time in the world at home to play around if you are being crafty, so you take your time, make sure everything's dry. Once it's dry, give it a good old burnish and that lovely design will come back to life. And what I'm going to do is pop this straight down here. Straight as possible. It's a little bit long actually, but it's okay. And then we'll just get our cloth. I'm just going to push it down with my cloth because mucky paw prints and all. Now, what you can do as well is you could add some bubbles to the back now in a colour if you wanted to. It's totally up to you. And then with this love, That black's a little bit harsh. Oh, there we go, look. Cheers for that, little too late. Too little, too late. Falling out with you. Falling out with my gun every... All the cards are so different. They totally are. It's wonderful, isn't it? Let's get some nice sparkles on here. So, get our lovely sparkly gems out. So let's see which ones go today. These ones will probably look nice. Let's have a look. I think these ones have got like a bluey tone. Yep. I hate using these. They are some of my favourites. Oh. Stop right now. Thank you very much. Don't squeeze too hard, Tony. Here's my glue block. Stunning. Thank you. Who's going to give it a twirl? Anybody giving it a twirl? I don't squeeze it in case it comes out too hard. Oh. Let's get my longer pokey tool in there. Oh, I said I'd get a joke for you today, didn't I? Oh, yes. Has that done it, do you think? I think I've done it. I'm just trying to make it look like I don't look silly. I know that's not hard, boy out. Right, let's just try and squirt some onto this bit of paper. Hey, there we go. I think we'll just do 3. Because I don't want to overkill. So the glue will dry clear, so okay. Let's have a look then. That is a nice card. Is it my favourite so far? I'm not sure. So we've done this one, we've done this one, and we've done this one. So far, so good, hey? I must start using the flower. Do you know what, though? I'm so used to using flowers all the time that I really wanted to push myself a little bit as well and use the fish more than I would anything else because it's not something I would normally use, but we will use the flower, I promise you. But there we go. Did you enjoy that? Fabulous. Love it. Are you going to give it a twirl? Hopefully you will give it a twirl. Let me know how you get on. So don't forget to post your makes in our Eureka fan page, and don't forget to pop a comment underneath here because I'm going to do a ton of winners at the end of this inspirational content on this project. And what updates have I got for you all? So this Thursday, 6 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, I will be doing my HSN product preview. Okay, I am with you tomorrow anyway, 1 o'clock in here for this again. But Thursday, if you want to come along from the UK and see what I'm launching over on HSN, it would be wonderful to have your company. And if you are waiting in the States to see what I'm launching over on HSN in the up and coming weeks or so, then please come and say hello. I've got some fabulous brand new products. I'm so excited about it. So that's it for today. Have a great afternoon. I hope the sun is shining for you all. If it's not and you're on your own and you need to talk or interact or craft with friends or show or make, have a conversation, you have the Eureka fan page. It's there for you so we can share the love of craft. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you all later. I'm going to get my wig done. Let's hope it goes all right. I'll see you later. Bye.